stop scrolling, because the coin you're about to see looks completely ordinary, but it can sell for over $100,000. Yes, a simple $2 coin that's been sitting in pockets and jars for years could be worth a life-changing amount. Grab your coins right now, because you might be holding the next six-figure treasure. First up, the 2003 Australian $2 coin. Okay, listen closely, because this might be the most unbelievable thing you hear all week. Right now, somewhere in Australia, someone is walking around with a coin in their pocket that looks completely normal, totally boring, absolutely forgettable, and it's worth $110,800. Yeah, a six-figure treasure, disguised as a $2 coin. And the craziest part? There are probably only a few of them left in existence. This is the 2003 Australian $2 coin, a coin so rare that most collectors have never even seen one, not even in photos. It's the kind of coin that slips through the mint by accident, sneaks into circulation, disappears into pockets, and then one day, bam, someone realizes they're holding a fortune. And here's the part that's blowing people's minds. Nobody expected anything special from the year 2003. It wasn't a commemorative year, nothing fancy, no big anniversary. It was supposed to be a normal, quiet year for minting. But that's exactly when mistakes happen. Quiet years are dangerous. Quiet years hide secrets. Somewhere in the production line, something small, something tiny went wrong. Wrong die, wrong plancher, wrong alignment. Nobody knows for sure. But what we do know is that only a microscopic number of these coins escaped into circulation. Collectors have been hunting this thing for years. Hardcore, obsessed, relentless hunting. Because when a coin is this rare, it becomes more than a collectible. It becomes a legend. And legends don't come cheap. Private buyers have already paid up to $110,800 for one of these little bronze-colored miracles. And the prices only go one direction when something is this rare. Oop. Imagine this. Right now, in someone's kitchen, there's an old jar full of loose change. A dusty jar that nobody's touched in 10 years. And sitting at the bottom is a coin that could literally change their life. That's the insane reality of this hobby. That's why people are tearing apart their wallets, checking every pocket, flipping every coin. Because the next $110,800 coin could be in your house right now. That's not hype. That's not fantasy. That's how this coin works. Collectors don't chase stories. They chase rarity. And this coin is the definition of ultra rare. It's so rare that even talking about it feels like talking about a myth. But it's real. It exists. And somewhere out there, maybe in someone's pocket right now, another one is waiting to be found. Next up, the 2001 Australian $2 coin. Stop scrolling, stop everything, because this right here might be the most shocking coin story to ever come. Out of Australia, there is a 2001 Australian $2 coin out there that collectors are paying up to $115,000 for. Yes, $115,000 for a coin 24 years old. A coin you've probably spent without even looking at it. This is one of those coins that makes you question every single piece of change you've ever handled. Why? Because it looks normal. It feels normal. It spends like any other $2 coin, except it's not. It's one of the rarest modern-era coins in the country. A pure accident from the chaos of the year 2001, a year when the mint was pumping out massive numbers of commemoratives, special editions, and high-volume strikes. And when the mint gets busy, the chance for big mistakes goes through the roof. Somewhere in that frenzy, something slipped. Maybe the wrong blank got fed into the press. Maybe a misaligned die created a tiny variation. Maybe a design meant for another denomination got mixed in. The truth is, nobody knows the exact reason because so few of these coins have ever surfaced. That's the magic. That's the mystery. That's why collectors are losing their minds over it. When a coin has mystery plus rarity plus a major year like 2001, the value doesn't just increase, it explodes. And that's exactly what happened. Collectors started discovering these anomalies, and instantly the demand went nuclear. People started offering insane amounts, $100,000 offers, Cash, private deals, quiet transactions between elite collectors who understand exactly how impossible this coin is to find. Let me put this into perspective. You have a higher chance of finding a gold nugget in your backyard than finding one of these 2001 $2 errors in the wild. That's how rare it is. But here's the twist. It's out there. Maybe in circulation. Maybe in a jar. Maybe in your house right now. Someone, somewhere is sitting on $115,000 treasure without even realizing it. That's why old coin videos are blowing up right now. That's why collectors are checking every single coin. That's why everyday people are becoming viral overnight, because the dream of finding one of these life-changing coins is real, not hypothetical, real. So the next time you grab a handful of coins, pause, look closer, because if you ever find that 2001 $2 error, congratulations, you just turned $2 into $115,000. And that is the wildest part of all. Your fortune might already be in your pocket. Next up, the 1994 Australian $2 coin. This is the mystery of the 1994 Australian $2 coin, a coin so rare, so unbelievably scarce, that the moment one surfaces, collectors go absolutely wild. And here's the part that nobody sees. Coming 1994 was supposed to be a normal year. No commemoratives, no special minting events, no high-pressure production cycles, nothing unusual. It was, by all accounts, the perfect year for everything to go completely smoothly. But that's exactly why things went wrong. Somewhere inside the Royal Australian Mint, hidden behind the machines, buried in the routine, something slipped. A mechanical hiccup, a die misalignment, a stray planche meant for another denomination. Whatever it was, it created an ultra-rare error. Not a common one, not something collectors casually come across. We're talking about the type of variation so rare that even top-tier collectors whisper about it like some mythical creature. This 1994 coin is not rare because of age. It's rare because it's practically a ghost. The number of confirmed pieces is microscopic. You're more likely to win the lottery than find one of these by accident. And that rarity? That's what drives collectors into bidding frenzies. That's what makes wealthy buyers pull out six figures without hesitation. That's how a coin worth $2 becomes a coin worth $121,500. But here's the part that keeps everyone hooked. It looks normal. To the untrained eye, it's just a coin. Nothing shiny, nothing fancy, nothing unusual. And that's the danger of it. That's why people throw them into jars or leave them in drawers for 20 years. That's why someone out there might be sitting on one right now, completely unaware they're holding something that could pay off their car, their debts, or a huge chunk of a home deposit. Collectors live for moments like this. They don't chase coins, they chase possibilities. The possibility that a tiny mistake from 1994 turned into a treasure worth more than most people make in a year. The possibility that a random, everyday coin somehow became one of the most valuable pieces of Australian currency. The possibility that out of millions of coins minted, a handful slipped through with a flaw so rare, so subtle, so impossible to predict, that it created a six-figure legend. And the craziest part? Nobody knows how many are out there. None of the big dealers have ever publicly confirmed holding more than one. Some experts believe only a couple survived. Others think a small handful are sitting unnoticed in old change containers across Australia. That mystery creates hype. That hype creates demand. And demand creates record-breaking value. Imagine the moment someone discovers one. You're sorting through old coins, maybe in a dusty tin your grandparents kept. You flip one over. Something catches your eye. Something's different. You look closer. Your heart starts racing. You start Googling. You start checking variation charts. And then it hits you. This might be the coin. This might be the $121,500 jackpot. This might be the moment your life changes because of a tiny metal disc you didn't even realize you owned. This is the magic of old coins. This is why collectors hunt. This is why rare coins go viral. Because life-changing treasures aren't always buried underground. Sometimes they're hiding in plain sight, waiting for the one person who finally looks closely enough to realize what they're holding. Next up, The 1989 Australian $2 coin. That's the insane reality of the 1989 Australian $2 coin, one of the most mysterious, most hunted, and most explosive coins in the modern collector market. A coin that looks ordinary, feels ordinary, spends like any other $2 coin, yet somehow has become one of the highest value modern coins Australia has ever seen. Now here's where it gets wild. 1989 wasn't just any year for the $2 coin. It was one of the earliest years of production. Since the coin's introduction in 1988, the mint was still perfecting the switch. From paper notes to the new coin, new machines, new processes, new metal formulas, new design adjustments. And whenever a mint is still refining a system, mistakes are almost guaranteed to happen. But not ordinary mistakes. No. Mistakes that slip through unnoticed. Mistakes nobody catches until decades later. Mistakes that create ultra-rare anomalies with tiny, almost invisible differences. Differences so small the average person would never detect them. But differences that make collectors lose their minds. The 1989 $2 error coin is one of those anomalies. A coin surrounded by mystery because the mint never officially released details about it. Experts say a batch was struck with the wrong die pairing. Others believe the metal composition shows subtle differences. Some insist there's a rare rim variation. The truth? We don't know, because the surviving examples are practically non-existent. That's where the value comes from. Scarcity. Pure scarcity. Only a handful of examples have ever surfaced in collector circles. And each time one appears, buyers fight for it like it's buried treasure brought to the surface for the first time. Private sales, quiet, behind closed doors, have climbed to insane numbers, reaching as high as $127,200. That's not speculation. That's not a rumor. That's what serious collectors are paying. Think about that. A $2 coin becoming a six-figure icon. A mistake from 1989 turning into a life-changing prize. Someone out there probably has one sitting in a jar right now, totally unaware that they're holding something worth more than a luxury car. This is why the world of old coins has exploded online. This is why people are checking their change at servos. This is why TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook are packed with people discovering rare treasures and going instantly viral. Because what if? What if you have the coin? What if the next $127,200 hit is already in your house? Collectors chase that feeling, the adrenaline rush of possibility. The idea that something so small, something so overlooked, something so ordinary might hold extraordinary value. And when a coin has rarity, mystery, historical timing, and a minting error all wrapped into one, that's when its value jumps from pocket change to life-changing money. The 1989 Australian $2 coin isn't just rare. It's a phenomenon. A modern gold rush hidden in your loose change. A tiny piece of metal with the power to rewrite someone's financial future. And right now, right this moment, someone, somewhere in Australia is holding one and has no idea what they've got. Next up, this is the 1988 Australian $2 coin. The first year of issue. The beginning of the denomination. The year Australia said goodbye to the $2 banknote and introduced a coin that would become part of daily life for decades. But what most people don't know, what nearly every Australian has forgotten, is that the first year of any coin is always the most unstable. The mint is learning, the machinery is adjusting, the designs are being tested, the tolerances are being pushed. And whenever a new coin launches, that's when the rarest mistakes happen. 1988 wasn't just a launch year. It was a year of total transition. The mint was under enormous pressure to produce massive quantities of the new coin quickly, reliably, and at national scale. That pressure creates chaos. Chaos creates opportunity. And opportunity creates the kind of mint errors that collectors will chase for the rest of their lives. People think the 1988 $2 coin is common. Millions were produced. They're still everywhere. You get them in your change without a second thought. But hidden among those millions is a microscopic handful of coins with variations so rare, so unusual, and so controversial that some collectors believe they shouldn't even exist. Variations caused by early dies, test strikes, misalignments, accidental overuse, and unexpected metal inconsistencies. As the mint tried to perfect the brand new design, collectors have whispered about these coins for years, for decades. Tiny differences in strike depth, odd faint double rim impressions, slight variations in metal coloration, subtle shifts in the Queen's portrait alignment, a few showing early die trials that were never meant to circulate. Some experts insist these were pre-production test pieces that slipped into circulation. Others swear they're from a small batch struck with a prototype die. And then there are those who claim the mint hasn't even fully acknowledged what happened during those first production days. That mystery, that uncertainty, that lack of official documentation, that's exactly what makes collectors go absolutely wild. The 1988 era coins don't just hold value, they hold power, they hold history, they hold the story of the very first moment the $2 coin was born. And because almost none of these rare variations were kept, the surviving examples are worth more than luxury cars, more than high-end watches, more than entire home deposits. Private collectors have already paid up to $145,600 for a verified specimen, and the prices aren't slowing down, they're rising. Imagine that, a tiny piece of metal worth more than an entire year's salary, a coin most people spend without even looking at it. A coin that could be sitting right now in someone's kitchen drawer or coffee tin or glove box, quietly waiting for the one person who knows what to look for. You have to understand something. Collectors chase rarity, yes, but they also chase narrative. They chase origin stories. They chase moments in history. And the first year of a denomination is always the most important. It's like owning the first edition of a book, the first print of a stamp, the first run of a banknote. But this isn't just the first year. It's the first year combined with error, combined with mystery, combined with a minting process that was still finding its feet. That's a perfect storm, and perfect storms create perfect prices. Think about how many 1988 coins you've probably held in your lifetime. Hundreds? Thousands? Maybe tens of thousands? Every time you spent one, you never thought twice. You never looked at the edge. You never checked the alignment. You never inspected the portrait. You never imagined for a second that one of those coins might have been worth over $145,000. And somewhere, right now, someone has one sitting in a jar of old coins without any clue what they're sitting on. That is what drives the madness. That is what fuels the excitement. That is why old coin videos go insanely viral. Because the dream isn't unrealistic. The jackpot isn't impossible. The treasure isn't buried in the ground, it's literally in your pocket. Collectors describe finding a rare 1988 $2 era as the ultimate modern Australian coin discovery. The Holy Grail, the top of the mountain, the kind of find that turns an ordinary person into the star of the numismatic world overnight. The kind of find that gets dealers calling, auction houses competing, and collectors offering more money than you ever imagined a small coin could be worth. If you ever find one, that's the day your life changes. That's the day a $2 coin becomes $145,600. That's the day you realize treasure doesn't always glitter. Sometimes it's small. Sometimes it's dull. Sometimes it looks like every other coin in your hand, until you look just a little closer. That's the magic of the 1988 Australian $2 coin. That's why collectors hunt. And that's why everyday people across Australia are checking their change like never before. Thanks for watching and happy collecting.